What's good, folks? How y'all doing out there this evening? I am Lee Black, and I'm the host of Real Talk for Real Men. We air live on Saturdays, but tonight we're doing a special show because I want to talk about the fallout from the 2024 presidential election, and I got special guests. I got my brothers from another mother. I got my brother, Kenny, Mr. Kendricks, the sports guy. What's going on, partner?
Good Tuesday. Well, Wednesday evening. I'm kind of mixed up, man. What's happening?
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you, man, for taking the time to come in, and we're going to have us an open conversation, and it wouldn't be complete without our other brother from another mother, Mr. Brenton Haynes himself from TFG Tonight. What's going on, partner?
My brothers, y'all doing all right?
Yes,
Good. What's
sir.
up,
Yes,
Brenton?
sir. You know what?
Man.
That's the big question that we here to talk about. How everybody is doing, because I don't know about anybody else, but today has been an interesting day. It has been curiously odd and eerie all day. So I'm going to start with the obvious. We now have President-elect Trump coming back into office. So how are you guys feeling? We're going to get to how you're dealing with it, but how are you feeling in this moment?
Yeah, man. For me, it's been a universal emotional letdown, and it's only because not that I can't handle disappointment, because my expectations weren't in a place of unrealistic expectations, but it was interesting how my wife felt.
Wow.
And so I had to be there for her. And I had to catch myself, because I was like, this hurts her.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm going to say to you all, because y'all my brothers. I'm not going to afford those that don't talk to us the opportunity to know my thoughts entirely, because you don't deserve it, because y'all deserve to get what y'all want. Because now, just like I told her this morning, now they want to know what we think. So I don't want y'all to know what I think, because I want y'all to sit in y'all decisions. And that go for all of them.
I love you.
It's not even white,
you.
black, or Hispanic. I want y'all to no.
I love you.
You can't ask me now. Hey,
I love you, bro.
Yeah, what you think about that? No. Matter of fact, here, I got you one even better, and I'll be done after this with it. I'll talk to you as he starts making decisions. How about that?
I love you, bro. That's my brother right there. And this very subject came up on Monday night on TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes, where we made our predictions and we kind of talked about how we would feel. So I'm loving that you're expounding on that. And I'm grateful that you're here being married. And so we're getting, for me as a single guy, I'm getting to hear how it's impacting your family. My brother on top, Brother Kenny, how are you feeling about here we are in the wake of this decision? How you feeling, my brother?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not surprised. I'm pretty much unbothered. Like I said Monday night, because I kind of knew this was what the results were gonna be. I just kind of knew that. I know what this country it stands on, and it damn sure ain't on Christianity like they try to say they do. So I'm not surprised that we are back with this convicted felon again. And I'm going to say this: anybody that watches this, you can email me, you can hit my inbox or whatever. I will always refer to him as a convicted felon. I won't call him by name. I won't call him the other adjectives and funny memes. I will always refer to him during his 4 years in office. He will be known by me as the convicted felon. That's all I'm saying.
They don't call this Real Talk for nothing, for those who are watching live and for those who may come back and watch it after the fact. And I appreciate you and I welcome all opinions. In case you don't know, on all of our platforms, we never ask for you to agree with us. That's not a prerequisite. In fact, we welcome a dissenting opinion. My show is founded under agree to disagree without being disagreeable. So you know, bring it. We want to hear it. That's the whole point of open up this dialogue.
Right.
So for me, how I'm feeling, let me be clear. Let me say, for those of you who don't know, I don't vote. So for many people, they may feel that I don't even have a say in this. Well, I said it on TFT tonight, Brendan. I'm an opinionated motherfucker, so I'm going to always have an opinion, whether you like it or not.
That's why this needed to be on your platform.
Right.
Yes. The language is going to be real for me. Having said that, look, I divorced myself from this whole thing, honestly, months ago. I hate election season. I hate the rhetoric. I kept up with it on my phone, of course, because I want to be in the know and I want to be educated. And that's just who I am and I read. But I, months ago, divorced myself from watching it on TV play out in real time, because on Brenton's show, one of the things that's said in his intro, there are two Americas. And I've been saying that for a long time.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, I worked late last night. When I got off at 9, I said, let me peek in and see what's happening. And I want to say, when I first tuned in, and he was already up 180 something electoral votes to her single digits, I knew in that moment it was wishful thinking. And I watched everything else. And then finally at about 2 o'clock, I peeped in and he was 248 or something like that. Mm-hmm. I laughed and I slept like a king.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that I like to prepare ahead of time so that I'm not walking into the next day. I like to already have my emotions in check. And I wanted to do this show because there are a lot of people that shell shocked today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go, my brother, please.
I made this clear, and I'm going to stick to it. I'm not giving you guys any of my thoughts about how I feel, but I am going to analyze this decision. And I want to say something. Kenny says I'm not surprised, and I want to push back just a little bit, because one thing that I want us to realize, because I've given thought to this. Trump won the popular vote when he went against Joe,
mm-hmm.
but he lost the electoral college.
Mm-hmm.
He won them both this time.
Correct.
Right.
The reason for that is because, again, they felt like it was enough people for him to beat Joe, and so a lot of people didn't feel like, again, they needed to come out because they didn't want to show their hand,
right,
against Joe,
right.
But this time they wasn't going to make that mistake. Correct. They had to show their hand because they were not going to allow this to happen. And secondly, I'm going to turn the coin on the other side. They made that woman jump so many hoops. Again, I'll be honest with you all. She had an opportunity to be elected when she ran against Joe in the first place in the Democratic primaries. Right. Y'all didn't want her then. And again, y'all gave her an impossible task and y'all said, oh, go do this, go do that. No, you need to do this now. You need to do that. And she did everything. I felt like
she go there. And we're going to go there because I think the reasons are layered. And, and I'm going to share with you. So as I get into why this happened, let me read something really quickly, because for those of you who might be coming in late, let's, in a nutshell, tell what happened. And I'm going to read this directly from an article I pulled. Donald Trump has decisively won the American election. He and his Republican allies have promised mass deportations that will ruin lives and sunder families. They have threatened to dismantle the Affordable Care Act and appoint the anti-vaccine conspiracy theorist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to a position of authority on public health. They have pledged vast cuts to Social Security and Medicare, the persecution of dissidents and violent suppression of Trump's political enemies. There will almost certainly be a nationwide abortion ban, and this will further degrade women's citizenship, rob them of their dignity, steal their dreams, and ruin their health. That one paragraph encapsulates where we are today, and the question is why? How did we get here? And I want to hear my brother up top. I want to hear what you think as to why, and I'm going to break down some statistics, and then I'm going to tell you what I believe where this election was a loss. But Kenny, in your estimation, why? How did we get here? How does that get put back in office?
I think the Republicans ran on the scare tactics that they did with him as well, and saying that if you want a better America or make America great again, we gotta deport these immigrants. I mean, that's been their biggest platform ever since Trump decided to run. So scare tactics was one of their go-to moves. Now, on the flip side, the Democrats, in my opinion, dropped the ball with Sister Harris, and I definitely agree with Brother Brenton with all the hoops and all that. She didn't get into this race until 100 and some days ago. So I mean, you were asking a whole lot to try to overcome that. But I think that some of their imaging messed up for them, as far as the Democrats. I think some of the people that they brought out, and I'm not disrespecting some of these sisters, but I think having Megan Thee Stallion up on stage, gyrating and all that was not a good look. And I think that again, that's no diss to Megan Thee Stallion, but I think the Democrats totally dropped the ball on their imaging to try to win this thing.
I don't disagree with anything either of you brothers said, but I want to share some statistics. This is hardcore numbers. You know, Jay-Z's famous line is, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. You know, by race, Donald Trump won this race. When it comes to the white population, 57% voted for Trump, over 41% for her. Or non-whites, anybody else that consider themselves non-white, you know, the 64% went for Democrats. Believe it or not, 33% went for whites. Racial breakdown for the white population, he won again 57%. For the black population, Donald Trump only won by 13%. He took 13% of the black vote. 46% of the Hispanic and Latino vote. That's the number I want to talk about. Of the Asian vote, 39%, and anybody considered other, 54%. And so when you look at that electoral college and that map, and it was a landslide, folks, because to your point, brother Kenny, he was able to pick and, you know, separate us. And I want to go there. I'm going to go there. When you talk about Megan Thee Stallion, I think so many mistakes was made that came back to bite Democrats. But I'm going to say in my opinion, you know when this election was lost for me? The day Joe Biden took office.
Okay. So it was a win, a lose then. Wow.
The Democrats lost the day Joe Biden took office. Ironically, right before this show, even as I'm sitting on my black ass supposedly working, I've been watching The Godfather all day, and I've been enjoying it. Yeah. And in The Godfather 2, when Michael wants to kill, you know, the Hyman Roth, his brother says, well, Michael, do you feel a need to destroy everybody? Michael Corleone says, no, just my enemies. This loss is on the Democrats long before they ever got here. Everything about Donald Trump is not new, but you allowed an enemy to fester for years and grow in power. The very first Godfather movie, how the Corleone family was built, is one member escaped to America, and his mother in the opening scene begged that crime boss to let her little son live, and he says no, because he will grow strong and want vengeance. The difference between Donald Trump and the Republicans is they understand tactics, in my opinion. What does it say that right now Donald Trump is being invited to the White House for a concession and a peaceful time when he wouldn't have done it?
He damn so would.
Sometimes, even in your defeat, in my opinion, you haven't learned a fucking thing.
They haven't learned a thing.
Go ahead, brother Brenton.
So this is what I want to say though, y'all, because I will not criticize her not one bit. because again, she was asked to do Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we've learned a lot of things. One thing we've learned is money don't buy elections, because she raised $1 billion.
She raised a lot of money. Yeah.
Okay. And number two, there are people who are above the law. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm going to say this about our government. There is nothing different between the Democratic and the Republican Party, because both had opportunities to give people what they asked for as their constituents.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing different. Everybody's had their chance to make the economy better. Everybody's had their chance to bring inflation down, and nobody does it. But here's the difference for me in this moment. What happened is that we have come to an understanding now that people don't mind being lied to. They don't mind being lied to when the lie is telling them something that they want to hear.
I love that.
And then secondly, here it is, when you're lying to me and telling me something that you're forcing down my throat that I don't want to hear, then I'll vote for the person that's lying to me, and then we'll just sort out the mess later. See, this vote was very narrow-sighted, because all it dealt with is what is happening right now. And again, that's what politicians do. They lie. This is not the first time we've been lied to as people. That's why a lot of people don't vote. But the problem is that the lie that they gave them was the lie that they wanted to see. And again, he goes out and he represents how people really feel. So the Democrats lie, but then they try to force an agenda down our throat. But then the Republicans lie, and they give them exactly what they want. So again, we're not here to play policy, non-policy, what they did wrong. No, they all are wrong, because this is classism. It's just which class got the little people to accept the lie that they're giving. And it was him.
I want to add.
I'm glad you went there, Brenton. You went to where a number, Brother Black, you were reading off numbers, and there's two numbers in particular I want to get you guys' thoughts on.
Okay.
In the preliminary exit polls, what I've seen, Trump won 63% of the rural vote.
Right.
We know what rural areas mean, and we know what areas those are in, predominantly the South. He won 63% of those votes.
Correct.
And this one, I definitely want to hear what my brothers got to say. You were talking about the Latino and Hispanic vote just a minute ago, Brother Black. Latino men, Hispanic men, 54% of Hispanic men voted for Donald Trump. So that means when you walk into an establishment or a restaurant or store and you see two Hispanic men, one
Mm-hmm.
of them voted for Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Tell me how. Tell me why.
Despite he calling literally days before the election, calling Puerto Rico a garbage country and talking about mass deportations and everything else. So I got to say this. I'm coming right back to you, Brother Brenton. But for me, it's more than just that people like to have their ears tickled, because the church's been doing that for centuries. That's a whole other conversation. People like to hear that. Yeah. But I agree with you, Brother Brenton, in the sense that this came down to people thinking about themselves and it was a selfish thing. And I love that you said it was short-sighted in that sense. But here's where, for me, though, it's not blaming her, but she made some gaffes. She made, in my opinion, some critical errors that cost her. One in particular, where when they asked her a simple question, what would you do different than Joe Biden? Either she wasn't prepared or she answered it badly. This is where I think she was put in a god-awful position, because this is where I agree with you, Brother Man. She didn't ask to be there. She literally was thrust into that role because her boss is incompetent, and his senility took over on national TV and put her in a position where, oh my God, she was happily going about her life as being a lame duck vice president. And now she literally had 100 days to mount a campaign against someone who had over 4 years to build his army, his base, his constituency, this, that, and the other. But the way she answered that question, I don't think, and again, Kenny, siding sometimes with Cardi B, and this is nothing wrong with that, but she, in my opinion, didn't read the room.
So, Black,
She didn't read the room in the sense that this is America. And I'm sorry, I've got to get this last point in because you said her raising $1 billion. This showed me that while money is important, power is even more important. Because she raised $1 billion, but he aligned himself with money and power. It's not an accident that Mr. Tesla himself was standing next to him offering $1 million.
Yeah.
Trump has been allowed over the last few years since he's been in office, going on back 8 years, to stack the deck against the Democrats in a way that they never prepared for. He stacked the Supreme Courts. This man is a convicted felon, but they refused to try him. Joe Biden and the Democrats didn't understand the fundamental principles of what an enemy is because they misjudged and miscalculated that this is just the ramblings of some old guy, blah, 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 not recognizing that bubbling underneath the skin of America, he's talking to people how they truly feel. Because I've always believed in my heart, and I'm going to take it to my grave, that people will say one thing publicly, but I said this on your show. When they get in that booth behind closed curtains, for me, it came down to even if he's a felon, even if he's a misogynist, even if he's a liar, and he may be senile and everything else, but do I really want to put another African-American office? And by the way, a woman? Fuck no.
That's what.
So this was a repudiation at the highest levels, because if you wasn't willing to put a white woman in office, you damn sure wasn't gonna put no black woman in office.
And we were fooling ourselves to think that.
Now think to think that. Go ahead, Brenton.
So I just want to say, when we talk about her making mistakes and where she gaffed and all of these things, I think about we're trying to compare and contrast to something. That. And so for me, I don't believe even if she did everything perfect,
I agree with you. She still would have lost.
That's right. So that's what I'm saying. So to for us to point when we point that out, it's just like I can't argue that point because that we're playing on an ice hockey rink versus a football
uneven
field.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Uneven playing field. Right.
Yeah,
I get it.
Disagree, but I'm still got to call and errors and hindsight, but I still have to call it out.
But this is what I am saying, because again, so when we want to talk about drop the balls, let's talk about these polls and datas, right? So here's the thing about smart people: when you're too smart for your own good, right? And so when you think you're taking information, guess what people know how to do? They know how to lie too. And so, because I've done it, you ask me to take a poll, I'll tell you whatever you want to hear. Are you a white male? Yes. Do you vote for Trump? So again, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you, and these people believe that white women were so upset about abortion when they were 50-something% of his votes.
I know, right?
Right. And it's like, suckers, shame on you. So this is my thing. I'm not upset. I've said it on my show, and I'm saying it here today again for those that don't know me. I am not upset at Donald Trump because he tells us who he is. But the more frustrating thing is the people who silently pretend not to like him or to be disgusted.
That's who I hold accountable.
Yes,
that's the ones I'm talking about that I said that to your face. So fellas, let me read something else. So, and this nails it for me. I never want to hear the words, America is better than this again.
I
never want to be told about America's better angels. I want honesty. I want an admission of exactly who we are as a country, and let's be damn clear about that definition.
Yeah,
we are a country that just elected, that just willfully chose one of the most cruel, unscrupulous, and transparently self-serving political figures in modern history to be president again.
I love
everything about that statement.
Nothing lie, no lies in that at all.
I'm gonna say something to your audience that may not know me. I've been saying this for a very long time. That I really suggest and I really admonish people to stop lying on the Bible before we get into 2025. Because if you really pay attention, people will use the excuse, well, the lesser of two evils, but they're using it in a religious context.
Okay.
For Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, right? They'll call her the Antichrist. They'll call her because she's supporting the homosexual community, right?
Mhm.
They begin to try to paint that picture. This country has been built on religious lies. They for the inception of this country called the United States of America, it has always been underlined with trying to manipulate people through religion.
Mhm.
It did not change during this election, even with Mr. 2 Corinthians, right? And again, for all the sins that they have forgiven him for, the one that they won't have to forgive him for is him being gay, right? And that's the one that everybody leans on.
Yeah,
But
that's
here,
the big one.
right? And here's the problem with that. Again, for the simple fact of this lying on the scriptures. See, now you all are about to really understand what it means to then put somebody above who God really is. In this
Brother
moment,
Kenny, I'm sorry. Keep on.
yeah. And so in this moment for me, again, the lies that have been told because of how they feel, and they'll lean on it. But again, I'll say this to those that want to subscribe to that, even black, white, Hispanic, whatever reason you have, just remember the story about them asking and begging for Quayle.
Okay.
And his name ain't Dan Quayle. So I'm just telling you, y'all ask for Quayle, but y'all got Donald Trump, and you're going to have it where you are sick of it, and it's going to run through your nostrils. And so again, y'all enjoy this meal that y'all have prepared for yourselves, because
Brother Kenny, you want to add anything?
I want to say this. I just was going over the numbers, man. I was just kind of looking at, over some of the stats. And, a lot of people don't know about swing states and how important certain states are. And those states, if you get them, those are the road to the White House. And Correct. It was just interesting that the states of North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, my birth state, which I can't believe, Nevada, Arizona, which he's pretty. Those are still not finalized, but he's going to win. Yeah, and Florida and Georgia. I wasn't surprised at all with Florida. He won that state by landslide.
Yeah, he lives there.
This is the thing that is funny to me is that a lot of these southern states are some of the poorest states in the country.
Right.
They are red states, but they tend to continue to vote Republican against their interests.
Ooh, I'm so glad you go in here because I'm gonna go somewhere else, and I'm going.
I'm still trying to figure out in my mind.
For me, I'm not amazed. No.
What is it about?
It's religious delusion.
So,
okay. Is that what it is, Brent? Okay.
It
I'm
is.
trying to figure it out. Okay.
It is. So let me get in here with some truths, but that ass. And again, this is real talk, folks, in case you don't know. So none of this is surprising to me because I've been also preaching something that we as African Americans and minorities in general, we are living in a false bubble because we have this perception that we're everywhere, folks. Minorities and African Americans in particular, we only in about 12 fucking states. And those states that we do reside in, we're in the metro areas. I live right here in Atlanta, but that's not Georgia. So, Brother Kenny, when you brought up the rural, Republicans learn. They learned from the previous election and they campaigned smartly to get those toothless, goofless motherfuckers who live way out on the farm to come in and vote early because they took them for granted last time. And so where we were galvanizing the attention right here in Fulton County and having big concert fairs with Usher and this one, that, and that one, we don't run the state. And so whether it's Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, this, that, the other, and you talk about the poor not being able to look out for themselves, this is where I blame religion. Believe it or not, folks, I don't vote on religious reasons. Believe it or not. The reality for me is, from my interpretation of the scriptures, is I'm supposed to be neutral as a Christian, because I'm not going to vote for someone that's standing in God's place to bring peace and harmony. I don't believe government is supposed to do that. But it's been the preachers, the evangelicals, that have polluted the word of God in such a way that they are a big part of the blame, that keep the poor masses in check. The reality is, when you're rich and you got money, what the fuck they need God for? They have heaven on earth right now. There's no need to pray to God when you drive a Maybach every day and you've never had to worry about your next meal. It's poor dumb fuckers like us that have to worry about our next meal and on this rat race. And so evangelicals and religion, the poisoning of God's word, is what has kept poor people at bay. There's a reason why religion is called the opiate of the people. And even in this election right here, where you saw preachers come out in support of this man who stands for everything that is against the Bible, but stand next to him and some kind of way with a clear voice claim that they serve God, it is for that reason alone that I can't support it. And the truth of the matter is, I think that the whole damn system is broke, if you ask me. And so for that reason, no, I can't give any of them my allegiance. But yes, I'm not surprised that poor people who are the dumbest and need it the most, and the idea that even they would get rid of an Affordable Care Act is helping the very people that's fucking supporting him. Utterly ridiculous. But I said this, I'm gonna let you have it real quick. I said this 1,000 times. A person is smart, but people are fucking stupid.
So even to the point I brought up a few moments ago about these parties are not different. One was telling lies to a group of religious, delusional people, and another group was telling lies to a very liberal, unreligious at times people. But I'm gonna tell you something else that bothers me is the people that they tried to bring up for the Democratic Party were unrelatable. Nobody wanted to hear Beyonce tell us
that's what I was saying.
I feel sorry,
Right.
my daughter. No, your daughter doesn't have a care in the world, because
That's what I was saying.
your
With the
daughter,
yeah, you're right.
Your daughter will never have to feel
strategically they faltered.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's again, Oprah Winfrey doesn't have the struggles that the people they're trying to talk to have.
Again, the irony is they'll make more money with Trump in office. That's the irony. His tax cuts is going to actually benefit them. Oh, folks, I didn't mean to cut you off, my brother. I'm sorry, folks. I got to share this with you. In my industry, I swear this on the soul. You know why today was eerily quiet today for me? And it's been just a beautiful fucking day. I've been able to watch The Godfather. My industry and education, they happy as a runner. It's not a coincidence that the stock markets went through the roof today.
Right. Not a coincidence.
There was a fear at one point that this bitch might, and I say bitch out of love, Kamala, but they was fearing this black bitch might actually win. And so there was a point where Walmart was shuttering stores. They were closing Targets. Wendy's is scheduled to close 100. They were realigning in the event that she actually won. Do you guys know that the company I work for is headquartered in Wisconsin? Kidding? And it was so fucking eerily quiet today because behind the scenes, over the past month, they have quietly been strategically laying folks off. Do you know that sitting here today, my fat black ass is happy as a runaway slave because now somewhere behind closed doors, they eating steak, celebrating, and my fat ass probably got a job at least for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Oh, man.
But again, even to the point, I'm saying like these people that they were bringing out don't have the same struggles that they were having. That's the problem with classism. Again, Donald Trump doesn't have the same problems. That's why he didn't talk about them. He talked about what he related to was these people are mistreating me. And his people said they mistreating us too.
Absolutely.
And then he said, yeah, and the Bible says they not supposed to be doing this. And they say, you sure right, the Bible ain't supposed to be doing this. And again, the Democrats, you can't sell that liberal homosexual story to no Trump supporters.
She ran under coming to the tent, but again, they didn't read the room, in my opinion, which brings me to, because I want to keep you guys too long. So what do we do now? The reality is we got him now. So 2 questions I want to ask first is, what do you think happens to him now? Because folks, he still got some legal issues that's pending. You know,
that issue going away. That issue is going straight down. That shit is getting flushed right down the toilet. No, it's going straight down the toilet. We already know.
The Justice Department is already saying, trying to figure out how to wind down from these charges.
And that's why I'm laughing, folks. And I've been saying this a long time. Believe it or not, I don't necessarily disagree with shit that Trump has said, because to your point, you said it earlier, brother Kenny, he's admitted who he is all along. It's the others. It's the others that play the mind games, but Trump is Trump. And then this is why I also told people, and I literally told a group of my coworkers today, because they were so devastated that they couldn't work, they couldn't think, and they was, Freddie, how you get, and I told them this. And I said, I'm gonna share with you what I share with people that's closest to me. Folks, let me keep it real. As we ain't gonna keep you too long here. We all got lives and life goes on. Here we are the day after life goes on. So here's the plain truth, folks. I was never gonna eat dinner with Trump, Elon Musk, or even Kamala Harris's black ass. The truth of the matter is, whichever them sons of bitches got in office, they was gonna all feed from the same trough anyway. I've been saying this for a long time. You know what really concerns me when I do think of politics, even though I abstain from voting? It's the smaller local elections that truly are going to impact my life. And so right here in Georgia that I live in, it's the Governor Kemp over this state, that what was he going to do? And the state representatives, because even on that smaller level, I choose the counties that I live in based on those decisions, because the truth of the matter is, 2 months from now, when he takes office in January, he won't give a fuck about the average citizen, because he's part of the 1%, and all the promises he made and the alliances he's made, they're going to keep eating steak, caviar, traveling on your fucking dime, and making sure that we stay as a part of the permanent underclass. So fuck them anyway. Fuck them all. Independents, Democrats, Republicans, I don't give 2 fat fucks about them. They can all live under the scrotum of my nuts. I don't give a fuck about them. So for me, what the fuck is going to happen on the local level? is what I'm saying. So, fellas, what do we do now? Because we can talk about this. And that's why y'all ain't no sense even reading these cases, because that shit is going away. So I want to ask my brothers. In terms of, Brother Brenton, you have a family to think about. Brother Kenny, you have a circle of family and friends.
Granddaughter. I think about my granddaughter. Yeah.
That could be impacted by all this. As men, as black men, what do we do now? Where do you go now in terms of dealing with this reality?
I would say this. Let me a couple of points I want to make before I really say what I want to say. I want people to pay attention to the House and Senate, because it looks like the Republicans are going to get those 17 seats in the House, and they're going to control both the House and the Senate. And so now that convicted felon is really going to be able to do whatever he wants to do. I read an article on CNBC about the tariffs that he's already planned to put a lot of 100% tariffs on China is what he's wanting to do. So
love that you're making it real.
So just think about
it on us
again.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
So think about what brother Black was just talking about, your local elections and how that really. This Congress is really going to impact you a whole lot more when these Republicans are running both chambers than anything else. And then you got the convicted felon again putting good bullets in the gun, no pun intended, to really take it to us. That was one thing I wanted to say. The second thing, I know that we've been hearing a lot of rhetoric about black men and the vote for Kamala, and I think there was a misconception out there that a lot of people were thinking that black men weren't going to vote for the sister, and
Right.
I think there was a small few. We
It was a
know
small few.
it's always good. It was a few. I get it, but according to the numbers, we only
77%.
right.
I want to
Man,
know the total though out of
Yeah,
the
77% black
77% of black men
voted
supported
for
But
exactly.
what I mean, what total number was that?
Well, we probably won't get
You know
that
what I'm
until
saying?
maybe a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
then we
77%
that's only counting who the fuck
Right.
voted in the
That's what I'm
first
saying. Because
Right.
77%
You're
of
right.
200 ain't nothing.
right.
You're right.
We can break that
Beautiful
down.
point.
Yeah, beautiful
Beautiful
point, Brent.
point.
And also, and this is where do we go from here? I'm gonna be honest with you. My two brothers know me. They kind of know me now. They know I'm kind of a laid back type. Nothing bothers me. My new hashtag for 2025 for the next 4 years is gonna be unbothered. Because you know what? I am gonna be so unbothered by that convicted felon. Life is still gonna go on. I'm gonna have to figure out my hustle and still make money, make moves happen, and it's just gonna be unbothered. Life is not coming to an
Nope.
end, my people. But hopefully, we as a black a race come together collectively and figure this thing out. Like Brother Malcolm said, let's do for self. You hear me, black folks? Do
I
for
hear you.
self. Because
And
we
I'm gonna have
already
one
know.
last question that you can answer quick at the end.
And then my last thing is, in the words of the late great Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. And when I say they, I'm talking about America. America got exactly what it asked for,
Yes,
and
sir.
it deserves everything it gets.
Everything is
from
fucking
here
good.
on. So that's kind of how I feel.
Brother Brenton, where do you go from here, my brother, in the wake of this reality?
I can't do that, but agree.
Before you answer, I want to read this comment. This
Mhm.
is my daughter. This is my baby daughter right here. Seriously,
okay.
you know, I'm a surrogate dad. This is my baby daughter. Asia says, from another non-voter, I can't do nothing but agree to all of this. Thank you for tuning in, Asia. That's my
Thank
baby
you,
right
Asia.
there.
Appreciate
That's my
you,
baby
Asia.
right there.
Thank you.
That's my baby right there.
What I'm going to do is what I was doing before he got elected, which was take care of my business.
Woo.
Again, here's the thing about us, and I'm saying us like our generation versus the younger ones and those that didn't grow up the way we did. We've seen hard times before.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
We've seen things happen. You know, we know what a ketchup sandwich looked like. So again,
yes,
you know,
sandwich.
we know how to put water in cereal. So
Mhm.
again, there's some lows that at this point we don't see happening. But again, like I told my wife this morning, we're gonna keep taking care of business. We're gonna put our head to the plow.
That's right.
We're gonna keep making good decisions financially because again,
That's right.
where this thing is going,
That's right.
don't buy a car. Shut up
Mhm.
trying to get a house. You better get somewhere and
Sit down. There you go. Sit your ass down somewhere.
That's it. Yes, sir. Get
Right.
somewhere and put your seatbelt on and leave that money in that pocket and stop spending it because again, inflation will go up again.
Yes, it will.
And it's gonna go up a lot higher when he get through.
Yes,
so I just want y'all to understand. Stop buying. Don't you buy another car. Don't listen. If you can get out of them apartments, get out of them. But you can't buy a house either. Y'all need to gang up or something. Y'all need to figure out how to like each other.
That's what I'm talking about, Brent. Remember we talked about it on the show about how we collectively we can come together. There you go. Right there.
Man, that's why they call this real talk. My baby Asia, I love you too, baby. I always got love. Come see your uncle in Atlanta. So this is called real talk. So I love where my brothers went because where do I go from here? Like Brenton said, keep handling your business, people. Life doesn't end. We still got to get up every day and go to work because despite the others, our black ass is under the gun. It hadn't, for us, the rules have always been different. We always still got to work harder, move faster, and do things twice as good. With that said, let's be real. You said a minute ago, Brother Brenton, about those numbers. They are skewed because when we look at these numbers, we're not considering that young population, that TikTok population who fucking don't vote or is misinformed and who just was going, they want their world to live in 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about the men that figured out all kinds of reasons why the sister didn't do this and didn't do that and didn't go to the polls and kept your crusty, dusty ass laying on the couch, as our sister Devin would say. Then I'm going to say the last condemnation for my women. I said this was going to be a referendum on women.
Yep.
I've been saying this a long time, and many women didn't agree with me. And I'm going to say it again because I'm a motherfucking misogynist. Women don't like women. They pretend they do. They pretend they do. The truth of the matter is, little niece you watching, that same girlfriend, who you look her behind your back, I can't stand that bitch. That same woman that is, we gonna drink together, we gonna kick it, they will steal your fucking man, they will cut your fucking throat, and they don't want you to get ahead of them in any way. At the end of the day, women don't, there is no way women was going to want to see another woman in, fuck no, an African-American woman ascend to the highest office of the land, and so quiet is kept, they were never going to support her.
I totally agree with that.
And to Kenny's point, we are who the fuck we are. We deserve everything we get. And so I began tightening my belt, Brother Brenton and Brother Kenny, a long time ago. I'm living in this new apartment right now. Been here about 6 weeks. I dropped down from paying $2,000 a month to paying $1,600. Still too motherfucking much.
Yes,
but
sir.
I tightened my belt.
Yes.
I paid off my car.
Yes.
So I limited bills. Motherfucking Jeff Bezos, I cut your monkey ass off too.
You cut him off too? I do, that's right.
Different things. So I literally every paycheck have close to $500 extra coming in each month that goes directly into my savings. And when I told my sister this, and I advocate this for all of you, to what we do next, when I say life goes on, we still got to get up tomorrow, but you got to be real and you got to tighten your belt. I live by this saying simply. I live close to the ground, so I don't have that far to fall.
Yeah.
Even when I was at the highest of high, making good money, I still drink Fireball. I fuck with Fireball whether I'm rich or whether I'm poor, whether it's raining or whether the sun is out. I eat and drink the same motherfucking things so that when the tide change, and folks, the tide have changed, guess what? I'm leaving out here in the next 15 minutes, going to get me a motherfucking bottle of Fireball because I'm going to drink the same shit tonight. And I'm going to watch the same shit tonight. I already got me some motherfucking crab legs. So my day-to-day ain't going to change all that much because, to Brother Brenton's point, I'm going to handle my motherfucking business and take care of life, and it will go on. And that's where we need to wake up and understand that this has been that way from the beginning of time, folks. We black, we always gonna be black, and this country has shown us we will never fucking matter. Sherry says, all you brothers been on here preaching. All you brothers been on here preaching.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Sherry.
Some Fireball up. That is my drink. My last question as we part is a lighthearted one for you guys. Now that the numbers is out and we know where people stand, I'm gonna ask it again because I'm curious. The numbers are out because we talked about the Latino population, the woman population. Has it changed for you how you view and fuck with people?
You know, I thought about this the other day when you asked me that on the show, and you were trying to tell me how much better I was, and I said to myself, "No, I'm not better than him." But
yes, you are. Yes, you fucking are.
And I'm gonna tell you why. We have two different perspectives because you start people off at 100. I don't.
Okay.
I start people at 0, so I can sit at the table with anybody because I don't trust you if I don't know you. So it don't even matter to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. So no. So matter of fact, when I look at you, and if I look like, because here's the thing, Black, and I just give me 1 minute. I feel like I'm having my lead back.
Take your time, brother.
Yeah. So in this moment, when we talk about perception is reality, here's what we're gonna learn this year. Your vote is your perception Is my perception of you. So if I perceive you to have voted for him, then clearly I'm going to think that you think like him. Right? So again, that's the reality for me. Your vote tells me how you believe. So again, if I think that you did that, or if I see you out here being joyous, you keep that same energy for 4 years. I'm telling you, because here's what you can't do. Ladies and gentlemen that didn't want to vote and you on Social Security or you on Medicaid, you can't ask me to borrow $100 because they done cut it. Because you know why? I'm gonna tell you, you shouldn't have voted for him.
Get it from that convicted felon. Let it, email him. See if he
here
get
it
it to you.
Let me tell you something else, and let me tell you something about this church. Let me tell you about that church. See, now the government now ain't gonna be so generous to these folks no more, and so these poor folks gonna need y'all now. But you know what they're gonna find out when they come see y'all too? Y'all ain't gonna give them nothing either.
Preach, Brother Brendan.
I'm just telling y'all, we on our way, and y'all got 56 days to get your together. 56 days until that boy take that office. So you better get your stuff together. You better learn how to eat that bologna and cheese, and you better settle down because we going for a ride.
Preach, brother. Preach, brother.
Oh man, my Capricornian brothers.
Yes,
hey man,
we all Capricorns in this.
Listen, I felt that thing right there on my shoulder.
Sides of the coin.
Yes, sir.
The religious, the common sense, and the fuckery and the foolishness. We're all right here.
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Where you stand, my brother, on looking at these numbers and how you feel about people?
Yeah, my perception definitely is changed. I'm gonna go into like the places of establishments. Maybe when I go into a bar and I'm gonna look around and just look at the racial makeup.
Wow.
I'm gonna say 75% in here probably voted for Trump. Nah, I'm not effing with them. On my social media page, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know people say, well, everybody should be getting along. You should be able to deal with people with different religious and political beliefs. No, if I see on my social media list that you posting some convicted felon stuff,
that's my dog.
You gotta go. You gotta go. I'm like the late great Robin Harris. You gotta go. You gotta go. I'm cutting you off. I believe that, yes, I don't want to deal with someone that's beliefs are totally different from mine.
That's my dog.
I'm not saying that I can't deal with you. We'll just be associates, put it that way. I can't be friends with you. I associate with you, but I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry. You told me where you stand. I know where you stand now. I know what you think of me. Just like Brother Brendan said, you voted for that person. Oh, so I know what you really think of me. So I can't rock with you.
That's my dog. That's my brother. These are my brothers right here, y'all. I'm going to say it again. I said it on Monday night. And for you who come watch this, yo, come tune in on Monday nights. You're missing the best fucking show on the motherfucking internet. TFT Tonight with Brendan Haynes on Monday night at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. You get this every fucking Monday night, and you get so much more. And we got a sister on that motherfucker. That's the baddest young lady in the planet.
She bad.
And we cover religion, politics, social events, sports, comedy, rip in a way that Asia, baby. Monday nights. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to TFT Tonight with Brendan Hayes and tell your friends. It's the baddest motherfucker show out there.
I appreciate it.
Having said that, let me say this. I'm 56 years old, people. I have ascended to a place in my life where I want peace. I have to have peace. I'm a diabetic and I have high blood pressure and I have to keep my numbers under control. One of the ways I decided to do that over this last couple of years is to eliminate a level of stress from my life that I don't need. And so when I look at this numbers for me, like I said on Brenton's show on Monday, I can't fuck with you if me and your boat ain't sailing in the same direction. It's not about hate. It's not about dislike. Right. In fact, I honor the fact that you have every right to feel how you feel. Having said that, I got more time in front of me than I got behind me. My precious few years, folks, I want to drink wine, eat crab legs, get a little pussy every now and then, cuss and sleep. In fact, right now, sleep is more important than pussy to me. So you're not going to interrupt my sleep. So my thing is, I don't have time for you walking through this door on some fuckery and foolishness and debating you on some shit that once I know that we don't believe the same, our light don't shine in the same direction, God bless you. But at the same time, fuck you and the horse you rode in, and I said it.
You knew I was gonna go get it.
Wait a minute, Britt took over.
Thank you for that. That's my brother right there. Thank you right there.
You know I'll go get you with that one. Yeah.
Look, these my brothers. These my brothers I love and respect.
Yes, sir.
These men to no end. And
No
so
doubt.
look, we wanted to come on tonight just quickly, and we're gonna go back to our life, but we wanted to let the viewers know that it's all right. It's all right. The sun will come up tomorrow. It's all right. And we wanted you guys to hear from us how we feeling. So make no mistake, y'all know where we stand.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys end on whatever last message y'all want to pass out, and we're gonna get back to our beautiful lives being true Black men. And there's not enough of us standing up for what we believe. But I'll leave the floor for you guys how y'all want to end it.
Okay.
I want to say this. I think this is a perfect time in this country for us as a Black community, as a people. This is where we got to come together, man. Listen, ain't nobody coming to save us, and we've been hearing this for decades. But this is really serious. I'm really serious. Ain't nobody coming to save us but us.
That's right.
We got to get on the same one accord, and we got to build our own communities up, and we got to support one another, help one another, really love one another, because we don't even love each other.
Ooh.
We got to start loving each other, man, and having each other back. Because best believe the convicted felon, when you talk about policing, we didn't even mention that. What his ideas, his laws when it comes to policing us Black folks,
man, it's about to change.
It's about to change. So my last thoughts, man, is in 2025, man, we gotta come together as a people and build each other up and protect each other. That's my final thought.
My final thought is this hurt our women.
Yeah.
This hurt my mama. This hurt my wife. If you have a Black woman that you are connected to, you need to love on her. Because this hurt.
I'm glad you said that.
Me too. Me too.
This hurt.
Me too.
And again, I know we unbothered, but this hurt them. Some of them may not tell you that, so tell them you love them, hear them out, let them get upset and cry and be frustrated, whatever. And again, do it without any, criticism. Just let them have that moment, man, because this hurt. That hurt them. They thought they were gonna get their moment.
Yes, they did.
They thought they were gonna get it. And again, like I said, I don't understand men who chose because they don't have a good relationship with a Black woman. That's not that woman's fault. But y'all, we need to, again, we talking about it. We need to step up, man. So I'm supporting my wife. I'm supporting my daughters, or whatever, for this situation, because that one hurt. That one hurt.
I'm going to echo my brother, and that's literally where I was going to end it on. Let's give credit where credit is due. This sister, she didn't ask for this.
Right.
And in 100 days, she mounted the most formidable challenge against somebody who had a head start. When you think about the game of Monopoly, and he was already at Park Place, and she was starting from the first move.
True.
This game was over before it ever began, and she still mounted a challenge against him that had him scared. And I want to highlight just how brilliant Black women are. I talk a lot of shit, but I always want to make it known, ain't nothing like a Black woman. They're the most educated women on the earth. And even amongst the most ratchet, I love them as well. And I wouldn't choose them, have them any other way. Right. And I agree with you, Brother Brenton. the win I want to take from this is that I want to honor Black women and how they're always at the forefront of change. And I hate that they didn't get the support that they wanted, but I truly knew it wouldn't happen, but that don't mean they failed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, folks, I want to end with this. Sometimes knowing where the snake is located, now you know where to step. And so my thing is for sisters, and Brother Kenny said, we got to do better as a people. For Black men, I hope that we find a way to be more supportive. We got to put all the petty bullshit aside about supporting women, this, that, and the other. Women are doing the damn thing. It is what it is, folks, and we need to get beyond that. But I'm gonna also talk to Black women. Y'all got some explaining to do too individually, and I want y'all to support each other more too. Stop criticizing one another. And I hope for 2025 we launch into a new year with a better appreciation, because women need to support women more. How can you expect us to support you when you don't support each other more? And so my thing is, at the smaller levels, I hope to see more women ascend to positions, because we're about to have an all-white male administration making decisions for you and your bodies. And like Brother Brenton said, for the women in our lives, folks, we're not going to feel it in the same way they are. Don't get me wrong. The struggle doesn't get easier for us as men. It's a motherfucker stepping out the door every day being a Black man. Don't get it twisted. What I do in this moment, I want to show some empathy for my Black women, because you guys are on the lowest end of the totem pole. And despite calling yourself queens, these numbers is an utter repudiation of America telling you what they think of you. But don't let that define who you are. So my beautiful Black sisters, stand up. Y'all did a hell of a job. Yeah. And we're going to push on.
Couldn't have said it better. Very well said. Very well said.
So I want to thank you, Brother Kenny. I want to thank you, Brenton, for taking the time to do this. It was unplanned, and I know we got lives and things to do. But I love you guys. I thank you for doing it.
Love you too, brother.
I think it's important that we come out. We all have shows to be able to put a voice to what everybody's feeling right now. So, folks, see us on Monday. Best motherfucking show in the land on TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes. So myself, Brother Brenton, Brother Kenny, and Lady D. We'll see you all on Monday, hopefully, and then check me out on Saturday, and check Brother Kenny out and all his platforms, because that's the baddest motherfucking sports guy in the game. I'm not saying this on seriously. That's the baddest motherfucking sports guy in the game. He break news that motherfucking ESPN don't break. Subscribe. Check us out, y'all.
For sure. Appreciate it.
Have a great evening. Peace
out.
All
right, you too, brother. Peace.
Later.